Okay, I just want you to listen to this because as I was gathering information for my Sydney Marquez video to share about her missing situation, I just wanted to facepalm listening to some of this. And just as a female, I'm exhausted. And let me know what you think.
Well, once again, we see this, frequently in life. People will go out late at night, and that's when bad things happen. I can't tell from the video whether or not she was intoxicated or not, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be a great outcome on the whole thing. I don't like to be a pessimist, but when she leaves her phone, she leaves her iPad or clothing behind, and she apparently had some emotional issues in the past, wasn't using her meds. These are all things that kind of collide and lead to potentially a bad outcome. It's entirely possible that time of night in that kind of an area that somebody could have abducted her quickly, not captured on the video, and she could have been taken that way. But generally, you wouldn't think that somebody who is as educated as she is, comes from the kind of family she does, doesn't appear to lead an at-risk lifestyle, would have something like this happen. But when you go out late at night, and especially if you are using alcohol or something like that, you just add to the risk factor.
Yeah, and if she's emotionally vulnerable right now, John, and maybe not in her right mind, it seems like it makes her more prone to be a victim. I think about like human trafficking. I mean, that all of that seems like a concern just walking down the street right there at that time of night.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is there's a lot of predators that are out running around. They're on parole. They were paroled out of state prison because they had commitment offenses against women. They were granted an early release, and they just decided to go back to their old ways. And we see this frequently. And this is one of the reasons that young gals are very, very vulnerable when it comes to being out at night if they're not with a crowd of their people or in a safe place. And so this is the terrible thing about this. So, there's always a little bit of optimism that maybe something's going to be okay. But the combination of all the things that came together on this makes me kind of worried about what's going to happen when this all shakes out.
Yeah, for sure. Understood. TJ, does the time of year have an impact at all? And what I mean is we just had Christmas. We've now got New Year's. Does that come into play for investigators when they're looking into these kinds of disappearances?
Well, again, like John said, these criminals are out or released, and women are vulnerable, and women shouldn't be by themselves walking along, even if she was intoxicated or drinking. They should not be out by themselves, especially at night. There should have been that's the same thing that happened to Natalie. She went off with these three boys and didn't even know them, and that's what caused her problems. But these women need to learn when they're going, especially in places they've never been or they do frequent, to make sure that they are with somebody else or a couple, two or three people, and not be walking alone. They become a great target. Yeah, especially with her. And apparently, John said she may have had some emotional backgrounds and drugs and so on and so forth. So there's things that need to be taken into consideration. And she may not have been thinking properly, walking by herself, and she may have been intoxicated.
Again, it emphasizes the fact that you have to stay away from the intoxicants late at night if you're going to be out walking alone, because that, to me, seems like that might be something that could be involved in this. And if she's not taking her prescribed medication for the emotional problems she had in the past, family members have to insist on that and make sure that she's doing that, because that could lead to bad things also.
Do you know, TJ, because we had someone on the show last.
Listen, I don't speak for all women, but I think I might speak for a lot of women that it is now 2026 and we're exhausted. We're exhausted. What I didn't hear said was about how we get dangerous predators off of the streets. What I heard was women should not exist in the evening times. If you want to have a drink, probably shouldn't, because that can, add to things, which is just like, I get it. We all are well aware of our safety and surroundings, because even not out at night, our head is on a swivel constantly. I want you to think about that. If that verbiage was changed to speaking about Men, how would that sound? That men should not be out at night. You should not be drinking because that's going to make you more vulnerable. And men, you should only go out in groups to be safe. Like, do you comprehend the dialogue that we hear consistently? Women who turn into victims, yet we're not having the discussion about why are there so many predators on the street and why is it so unsafe if a woman wants to walk at night? You know, the number one answer when it is asked if men did not exist for 24 hours on this planet, what would a female do? It is commonly go for a walk, specifically at night, without having to walk around. Oh, with headphones on, that they can wear their headphones. They don't have to worry. They don't need to carry their pepper spray or a knife or something else or something that makes a loud noise. They just want to go for a walk and feel okay to do that and not have anxiety and not be looking around and not be worried and not having to have, a phone ready to make an emergency phone call to have to be tracked just to go for a walk. But us gals, according to those men, need to, maybe Sydney was picked up because of the actions that she took by going for a walk, which again, there's more to Sydney's case. There's so much more, and I'm getting into that video next, but it's just, I was getting all the details on Sydney and making sure I have everything I need to give her story the light that it needs shed on it. And I was just got punched again by hearing these comments from people that go on these shows, specifically, again, like when it's men telling women how to exist / really just not exist. Like, we just shouldn't exist. And I think we're all supposed to have a curfew, apparently. So let me know what you think, but I'm exhausted.